Okay, this is I'm gonna show you something curious that very few people, I don't think only NASA technician knows this, because I haven't found anybody that talks about this. This is the landing module when it's separated from the command module, Apollo 11. So they're on the translunar part of the trip, so they're right around the orbit on the moon where they're gonna fix to land. They're fixing to land with this thing. So look in this picture, you can see these tubes that are like they're supposed to stick into the ground to secure the craft when it lands. So they thought the moon was sandy, like 3 or 4 feet of sand or 2 or 3 feet of sand, something like that, I imagine. You notice that they are like bent like that, but they're all straight. So I guess the idea was that they're supposed to stick that into the ground. So either this thing can swivel like that or like that. I'm not sure, because I can see any round deal that makes it swivel either here or here in any of these two parts. Now I don't see one of those struts in this one right here in this part. This picture doesn't show any of this. There's only 3 of them, so that's kind of weird here. That's I don't know. It's my I don't see it in this picture. You can enlarge the picture. It's in the Apollo gallery catalog, image gallery. You can look it up and you will find this picture. I'll put the link on the description of the video. Now this is the rocket that's supposed to keep him from, it looks so flimsy. I mean, this shit looks so freaking flimsy. Now look at the ladder. It doesn't even go all the way down to the footpath. That means the guy had to jump up to get up the ladder. And when it's going down, he had to jump down too. So I imagine they thought, well, the moon has a lot less gravity. It would be easy for him to jump up or down. So, in fact, it wasn't anything like that. Now we know the moon has almost 65% gravity of Earth. So it's not like if you're carrying 100 pounds, 300 pounds weight, you're only gonna feel like maybe 30 or 40 pounds because it's very little gravity. Nah, that wasn't the case. So anyway, and this other guy showed that this door is too small for a man with all the backpack and all that stuff to fit through it. That's another problem with that. And when he went to the museum, you're gonna see that presentation later, because he makes a good point about the size of this deal. But what I think, and that's my opinion, is this thing we're using anti-gravity instead of all this rocket shit that I don't see how they're gonna put fuel where the fuel is gonna go for all this huge ass rocket nozzle. That has to have some major ass fuel to move that up. That's not gonna be. Anyway, it didn't lift any dust, hardly any dust when it landed, which indicates to me when I first saw that saying that there is no much lunar regolith. Anyway, let's get to this really quick, because this is what I want to show. These things supposed to stick into the ground. I guess that's the idea. That was the idea. But in the picture that I'm gonna show next, you're gonna see that this thing was bent. Some was bent. One of them was bent up. I mean up. It's not like flat. One of them was flat. In fact, you can see the gash on the ground when the major skid like three feet from the lunar surface, and it left a gash on the ground, and you can see the strut is flat. Then another strut look like it's up. So to me, it sounds like when they landed hard, and that thing almost tilted. It dragged for 3 or 4 feet, and it came to a stop, and probably went like, like that. He went, I mean, that was not a smooth landing like they portray the shit in the movies, in the videos. But mostly because I think they're using anti-gravity. You cannot see, I don't see where the fuel is gonna go into this, and all these nozzles here to keep it, to keep it straight or not, the navigation, to keep it from tilting one side or the other, and to keep the navigation straight and forward, and adjustment, the adjustment nozzles. You can see right here that the bottom one, it has a shield in each one of them to protect the inner part of this flimsy looking tin foil that they have, golden looking tin foil. Now this rocket ship to me is huge, and I don't see where the fuel is gonna go to feed all that gigantic ass nozzle. And you don't see none of that. In fact, when the thing took off, you don't see you don't see any kind of, you don't see anything. And there is an atmosphere on the moon, and there is water on the moon. The Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, with the instrument they found, one per 1,000 parts. That's a lot. That means that things that are metallic there will oxidize. They will rust in the long run. They will deteriorate in the long run. The moon is a metallic spherical craft. It's being maintained at that so far orbit. It's way too far, too big and too round to be a natural satellite. And it's hollow. That was the first determination they did. But anyway, look, this is the strut right here, and it looks like it has a joint here and another here. I'm really not sure. I have to look at the specification. That's something I never thought about until I saw the picture where this thing, look how long this thing is. It's about 3 feet long, at least. Well, that's what it looked to me like, 3 feet long. So anyway, you can see that each one of them has one except I don't see one on this one right here. I don't see anything there. None. Maybe because the way the picture was taken, I don't know, but I don't see anything there. Nothing sticking up. So that is my first kind of funny feeling that this is something is not right about this engine deal. And this setup here looks so flimsy and so small that it don't look to me like what they propose. Not the way they propose it. I think they have an anti-gravity engine a lot smaller than, because they already have a working anti-gravity engine according to Dr. What was his name? The one that David Cerrida interviewed, Boyd Bushman from Lockheed Aeronautics. He showed him a working model of an anti-gravity engine, but that thing was huge. But that was in 1959. So I imagine that in 10 years, because this is now 1969, from 59 to 69, 10 years, they probably reduced the size of the anti-gravity engine. They could miniaturize it big time. I don't see why not. They did that with nuclear weapons. And nuclear weapons are very much, complex. And more freaking dangerous than this. But anyway, they already had this. That's what I think, in my personal view. All of this is Mickey Mouse shit. They have anti-gravity and they could control it because the space inside that thing is so small that there's so many gray areas there that I don't see exactly like what that man was saying, that he couldn't see how a man could fit with a big backpack in a 36 inches space to come out of there with that big ass suit pressurized, and I don't think so. But then I saw the picture where the suit didn't look inflated at all. It looked like there was no need for that much pressurization. You can see that in a live shot that they did from Apollo 11, where they entered this complex that was in ruins. And now I know why the thing is all decayed, because there's water on the moon and there is a thin atmosphere. Just NASA has been keeping one set of the right deal for them and the bullshit for us, the public. And that's funny, and no scientists have never bitched about. I guess they're scared. And I think they're right, because they will delete your life. If you are only one, they'll kill you. Now, if there's thousands and thousands of dudes, and you make a lot of noise, and you are well known, and that they will think about, hey, we can be doing this shit, because then that makes what he says sound like it's true. What they did to Milton Cooper and to Phil Schneider, all it did was solidify what they were saying. Other guys were talking the truth, and that's why they were killed. So that add then credibility. And that's a problem for them. Acting that way, like thugs, it doesn't work the way it used to. because now there's more social media and more people paying, you know, attention, at least among the UFO community. Anyway, this is the landing module deal. Look at the needles and all that shit. Look at how this other one, there's one that looks like it's missing. This one, I don't see it anywhere in this picture. I don't know if because it's the position of the light or, but I don't see anything there. I don't see nothing sticking up. Should it be? I don't see it. That's the first weird question for me. Now in this next picture, check it out. This is the landing pad on the ground. And look what happened to that strut. The strut is bent back so incredibly much that it is sticking up, and look the drag marks on the ground. Look how much it dragged that thing. You can see the dragging, the scraping of the ground, because the ground is hard, because it's metallic. It's being burned by the electromagnetic vehicles, as Dr. Berglund showed in the book Ringmakers of Saturn, and he showed effectively and exactly matches. The smell would be that of sulfur, of the smell like burnt. The metal was burnt, and that's what Armstrong said. He said that the moon smelled like gunpowder, burnt gunpowder. So check this out. That's the strut is being bent up, and that's the dragging marker. So that thing is key. First, it didn't stick into the ground because that shit was hard like rock. And then when he bent, he almost tilted. So they had to have a hard-ass landing and a scary one, because he could tilt and a whole bunch of tons of weight. You cannot tilt that shit in between two guys. That would be a no-no. So that's the second question, that you don't see any dust on the footpath. I don't see any dust anywhere. That means that they weren't using any rocket shit. You don't see any signs of rocket blasting the ground. That's another indication to me that this thing was anti-gravity, what they use. And you can see in the background, look at that picture. You can see in the background this structure, the entire ground is structurized. It looks like it was burnt, and there is all kinds of structure sticking out of the ground. The whole entire ground is the surface of a craft, of a gigantic ass spherical craft that has been burned, and it looked almost like a rock, but it's not. Now I know what that was the camouflage, and plus the burning of the metal produced the byproduct is that fine powder-like deal from the superheated plasma, and who knows how many thousands of degrees that shit was applied to soften the ground, to create to mold the and create the structures using high plasma, like Dr. Bergman say, and low current underneath, and electromagnetic resonance, like sigmatic, you know, when you create with sound, you create, you know, patterns and shape. That's how they did all that stuff in every moon and planet, using that resonance. So anyway, this is what the deal is with this foot pad and the needle-like tube that's supposed to stick into the ground. That proves that the moon is not a soft, rocky, or nothing. There was no all this dust or sand that they thought they were gonna find, and that the landing was a lot different than what they portray. Let's see another strut right there. Look at this one, how this is straight out, and look at the gash that it left on the ground right there. Check it out. Look at the gash. So that's when the thing first made contact, and the gash is the same length as the strut, as this, I guess they call that the strut, I'm not sure. But that thing didn't go as planned. The other one is bent up. Imagine, that means that the other one, this thing came down in an angle, in a slight angle, and that one hit first, and this one hit second. And look, this one is straight flat on the ground. The other one is sticking up. That means the other one made contact first, and this one left that gash mark right there. You can see the gash mark. He didn't go more than a few inches down. I mean, that they found something totally different than they thought they were going to find on the lunar surface. There was not all that sand, and the ship was going to stick into it straight down and secure the landing module. So this ship was shaky from the start. But they were using, I bet, they had to be using anti-gravity, because I don't see signs of any rocket firing to keep the thing open and level. You know, they had to have something shooting down to keep the craft from falling, because apparently where they were gonna land, there were some huge ass boulders. Oh, they weren't boulders, they were structures. That's what the whole moon surface is. Structures, and those little whatever, those are left over from the burning, and that's the truth. So Dr. Byron is correct. From everything that he say, I have corroborated. The few things that I haven't been able to corroborate are the craft with cloud technology doing storms and shit. We are discovering over and over the same thing that he said, that these craft are everywhere and they fly with impunity using cloud technology. And of course, the stupid human, you say, oh, I saw a thing in a cloud, oh yeah, you're seeing elephants. Didn't you see your grandmother or your mother-in-law there too? Her face? They made fun of you. Well, shit that now we know that that's true. Of course, there are some disinformation being thrown out and some CGI crap that's what hurts the truth. When some assholes put some CGI shit that you know that is the object look too crispy and too nice, that means that wasn't true. Because the electromagnetic field around that thing will distort. You will never get a crispy image from a regular camera unless the thing is in space. Because the gases deals around the craft, when you put electromagnetic field, it will distort a little bit what's behind that magnetic field. Well, let's keep talking about this strut. Then you see the strut here is flat on the ground, the other one was sticking up, and you see that it left a gash on the ground, very, very visible. And the gash is no more than 4 inches thick, I mean deep. That means that the surface is hard like metal, and it's true. There is no sand, and that shit is nothing natural, none of it. And you don't see any powder on any kind of dust on the pad from blasting, the rocket blasting downward to keep the craft flying level without falling. That means that wasn't using any freaking rocket shit. That was using anti-gravity, to me. In my conclusion, that's exactly what I think. If you have anti-gravity, why would you be using rocket shit that is unreliable, dangerous, and obsolete? It's totally inefficient when you have something that shoots. But because in those days the computer had not caught up with the other technology, the anti-gravity. They were using analog type things. So this is the truth. This thing hit a big, that landing was not as smooth as they portrayed. That the guy took over and the shit was meh. That was not it. The high resolution is only 965 kilobytes. What a high resolution. Look, there's 2 objects right there already on the image. And that's without even brightening it up. Check it out. This is 1 object. Oh, there's more than 1 object. There's a blue object on top of this one. And on the bottom, oh, there's some blue deal, the structure that is next to the moon. The blue deal. Check it out. This is supposed to show Aldrin in the footpath descending ladder. And I see another thing. Look how much space the backpack and the guy takes to come down from that. Oh, the picture only goes that far up. I mean, that's that's more than 36 inches from the front of the chest with that camera, the Hasselblad camera sticking out of the front. You're adding right there another 12 to 14 inches. Something is not correct here. I think they were trying to hide the anti-gravity shield by portraying the other deal, but the dimension of the craft in these images is completely, it doesn't match. Now when we use the screen setting, let's see how the needle light, which I didn't see one in the strut on the space. It didn't have a needle deal on it. It may be because of the ladder thing. This thing, it didn't have a needle at the end of the foot pad. Let's make it as light as possible to see if we can. No, it's not possible to see a damn thing there. No. There's no way to see it. And I don't think this one had the needle deal that go, the tube, little tube that's sticking to the ground. I don't think this one, in the picture doesn't show it. So this one doesn't have it. Oh, imagine the disaster if these people would land on, and look, they landed on a uphill deal. Oh, that's a hill right there. That's not a flat ground at all. That's no level at all. This is the foot of a hill. Now look at the stuff on the surface. There's some blue orbs. In every picture you can see, even in the video, you can see orbs appearing and disappearing, flashing in and out of the image. So that means that these entities are all around. They knew everything that was going on. They tried to sabotage every single mission. Every mission has some problems, especially the ones that went to the moon. So when they say that they're mining on the moon, there is nothing to mine there. What, 2 inches of burnt powder? Or regolith, that is the result of the helium-3. There is no helium-3 shit. They don't need that. Tesla proved that you can get energy from the vacuum of space. And they proved that with the tethered incident, the 2 satellites that were producing like incredible amount of electricity. Why would you go mine the stupid moon for bullshit? It's totally preposterous. Anyway, this is a shitty picture to look at for that. All I wanted to show is that at least you know that that thing hit a snag when they landed on the hard surface. expecting to be landing on a soft beach like deal. No, that wasn't any soft beach deal, and now I know that you can, the low gamma deal is no good for details on bright deals. When you get to the bright part, see, look, there's the first object. And you can see all these specks that are all blue color, but there are different other colors there. So that means that that's the structure. Look, all that confirmed the presence of that big blue purplish structure that wraps around the moon, shown by the Apollo 8 image. See that? Those are no stars, and those are no, that's on the structure, that monster structure right there, that over, is almost the size of the moon, that thing. Our friend investigator Stone Rider 716 caught that with her camera. That's something I had never seen anybody else capture that with a camera, with a regular camera. She has some amazing images, boy. And on top of that, they showed up at her house. The reptilians, a freaking dragon-looking thing, came to her house. You can look it up on her website, Storm Rider 716. I was like, wow, man, that was amazing. The reptilian pay a visit to her. Almost to, but that to me sounds more like a warning than a nice visitation. Why would you send a freaking dragon looking shit, menacing, and stuck his tongue out of the mouth? That was freaky. Wow, I would freak out, but not anymore. I know exactly now that when you have the creator backing you up, this team, they don't like that. They know exactly what you're doing, and they know they don't fool with the creator, what we call God. God is a word made up by religious people. Really, the word is the creator. He created everything, including them, and they know it. So that's why they don't mess with that. They respect that big time. Anyway, this is what the shit I didn't wanna find out that the picture was shit. You couldn't see the strut. So you got to look for other pictures where they show the struts. The strut. There you go, in the dark, in the shadow. You can see a damn thing there. Can see on that either. There you go. That's the same one. Oh no, that's the other strut. Check it out. This one is flat too. But see, there's no gash, so that's the other one. I guess they were inspecting that deal. That's what that picture is meant to be. He is inspecting what happened when they hit the ground. He's inspecting and finding out. Look at the check it out. Oh no, that strut is a lot longer than 3 feet. That thing is about four and a half feet long. So imagine that shit almost tilted over when they were on the moon and it skid. See, this thing is skid the other way. Look at the skid mark right there. Look at how deep. This is the skid mark of the other foot pad. Check it out, right there. And how deep it is, about 3 to 4 inches. And it looked wet, the surface looked wet. And that's because there is water on the moon, one part per thousand. That's a lot of water, so there's a lot of humidity there. And if there is water, so they have a biosphere that is not like here, but and there is vegetation too. There's pictures showing vegetation in some of the images. But look, right there you can see that the strut is flat. That means that she didn't stick. None of them did. And they should be thankful, because if that would have one of them stick and the other don't, oh my God, 4 feet of difference, that would tilt the shit. That's what they were inspecting down. And I guess that would be a good question to ask him. Hey man, what happened when you landed? In those pictures, look like you almost tilt over and there's some skin mark and gash on the ground. And look like you are inspecting the see, look at the gash, how long it dragged. This one dragged for a while and that one too. So that's the other 2 struts. See, only 3 of them had that needle-looking shit that's stuck into the ground. Check it out. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now we know. Yeah. I guess they were saying, oh my God, we were lucky big time. So they had to tell oh, they say the flag flew off, was blown during takeoff because of the shock wave from the blast. No, what I think is that that ship fell down because there was nothing to hold it in place. You only got stuck few inches into the ground. That flag, you had to drill the freaking surface because there was, if the strut didn't go in, you're not gonna stick a flag either. Unless the flag has a base, a round, wide base. You can see how shitty the pictures are. They show only, what, a little piece. And these were pictures that they did not want to show at all. I'm looking for the footpath. There you go. See, look at that, the gash. And where's the tube? Now you see the gash and we don't see the tube. Oh, come on, man. Don't tell me that. You see a gash, but you don't see the tube that was in the other landing pad. See, and the picture is designed only to show just that piece. Maybe the thing broke off and they just pull it out. See, they needed the strut to be stuck. Oh, these are the struts, not those needle-like things. Oh, there it is. See, look at that. Okay, that's the one. See, look how the thing was supposed to stick into the ground, but it didn't. Instead, it bent. And look at the gash continue. It just doesn't show anymore. The picture is just enough to show the strut only. Now I would like to see a whole picture of all of the struts showing. Look, that's the one that's stuck. This one is stuck in an angle upwards. That one is the other one I just showed. So there's two of them. See, the stuck. The thing came from the right to the left by the way they're bent. So that means they skid the surface and almost tilt over on top of that. Look. In fact, if those things wouldn't have tilt, or wouldn't have bent, that shit wouldn't have tilt over badly. It wouldn't have fall to the side, and that shit, they would have been stuck on the freaking moon, maybe. So they were really lucky. Real footpath. Look, that's the one that's stuck. The tube is up. No, that's the same one. See, it's showing both of them. picture full screen. See, look at the strut, the needle, the tube. And that was not a skinny needle sheet, that was some thick pipe. See, look at the other one. Remember, that lunar major weighs a bunch of tons. That was not just a 20 pound, 100 pound, no, that thing was like 2 or 3 tons heavy. It doesn't show any more than that. So that was it, they didn't show any more footpath. Lunar Major, footpath, just show that one. Ascent stage. And what is that up there? And you tell me that the earth looked that tiny. Give me a freaking break. The tiny earth, like we see the moon from here. A lot smaller though, with no atmosphere. There's an object right there. There is an object right there. Right here. There's the blue deal right there on the corner, the blue streak. That's a major craft. There it is. That thing shows in every single Apollo picture. And that is one huge round object or craft. Let's give it the right name. Anyway, that's all for the footpath deal. I got to see the other Apollos, see what they did.